Alright, here is the motor. Took it out. It is definitely an FK130. It's not particularly special, and it's not like a high-end motor or anything. It's just a regular old FK130. It has decent performance, as we have used these in many times before, and I got tons of them in bins over there. I know this motor pretty well, so I got it clamped into the vise here, and I've got the bench power turn on. I'm going to turn it up, and let's see when we can get a spin. Okay, there's some lines on here. Right there. They do some Sharpie lines on there. Alright, now I'm going to turn it up and see if we can get it to spin. Okay, 1.2 volts. And it moves. Nice and quiet. Very nice. 4 volts. We're drawing 0.03 amps. And let's take a look over here at the bench power. Okay, bench power shows at 4.33 volts, we're drawing 0.03 amps. That's pretty good. Like I've said before, these FK130s are decent motors. Okay, so now let's assume your layout is 18 volts like mine. With no load, 0.05, that's pretty good. I'm going to put a load on right now with my finger. I got a pretty decent load on there, and we're running up to 0.7. If I stall it, boom. We didn't even make it to 1, so that's good. I mean, we got a decent motor in place. Okay, that doesn't mean that we don't have to do something, because we do have to do something. This is a great motor. And for those of you can find these on eBay for like, they're not even $2. So there is nothing special about this motor. See that? Definitely FK130, also known as Mini 30. Alright, but what we can do, we can improve performance on this, and we can preserve the motor in a way that makes sure that it doesn't crap out in the future. Now, I could take this housing off, but we don't really need to do that. All we really need to do is take our 17, our air tool oil, put this little glob on there, and all we got to do is get it down to the shaft. We get it down into this shaft. Just work it down there. It'll go down there, and then we'll just spin it around a little bit, and it'll get worked in. Okay. Now, as you know, as most of you know, I am not one for flywheels. I don't care for flywheels because they throw off the digital momentum. But in this case, since we got a 130 on here, I think we're not getting around having flywheels. It's okay. They'll be fine. And with this motor, we can set the digital momentum at 1, and that's all we need. We run them around. Okay. Okay, now what I got to do, so I'm going to put them in here again. Now I'm going to run them like 5 minutes in each direction on probably somewhere around, I'd say 6 volts. Somewhere around 6 volts is where we're going to run them. And we're going to go 5 minutes each way. And just to make sure that our air tool oil gets worked into that bearing. And I'll tell you what, these motors are great, but if you get air tool oil onto that bearing, they're really great. They're actually really, really good motors. Alright, so I got it at 2.5, and she's going 6.5. Right now, okay, at 6.5. That's what we got at 6.5. And what we're looking for is this setting here, amp. It was at 0.41. Now it's going to start dropping. And I'm guessing it's going to stabilize somewhere 0.3 something in a little while. And then we'll switch directions. And then I'll tell you what the results are later. that's where we're at right now. And decent motor. I use the FK130. It's a good motor, especially the higher voltage version that you can get. 24 volt version is awesome. This is probably not that, but it's got good characteristics, so we like it. We're keeping it. We're gonna get them worked in. Everything's gonna be good.